Oh, right. Yeah. Like I said, there was no more songs left of Jim Cuddy in Todd. This is from Todd's PayPal request. But this is Blue Rodeo. Both of them, I'm guessing, on George. Every time this name comes up, I can say it, but every time I'll have to think about it. Stroumboulopoulos. Ridiculous name. George Strom, we call him from now on. But yeah, Blue Rodeo on George Strom tonight. Let's go.
Almost 3 decades together. There aren't many bands that can make that claim, but one of them is ours, Blue Rodeo. And at the heart of it, two high school friends, Jim Cuddy and Greg Keeler. So how have they managed to pull it off? From the start, they earned respect the hard way, touring the most far-flung parts of the country. Then there's that beautiful Blue Rodeo sound. It's ragged, it's soulful, rustic, wide-screen songs that conjure up an unmistakable sense of place. What a run it's been. 13 studio albums, 4 million records sold, 12 Junos, inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame alongside giants like Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and Leonard Cohen. Their latest record, that reflects on their journey of the last 26 years, is called In Our Nature. Please welcome Jim Cuddy, Greg Keeler. Oh my goodness, it's Blue Rodeo. Thanks, sir. Welcome, man. How are you? How are you? Very good. Welcome. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello there.
Congratulations on another wonderful record. How does it feel?
It feels great. Yeah, for sure.
When you do it long enough, does it become a similar experience?
Well, I like the line, try again, fail better. And it's like every time we go to make a record, and I think every time anyone goes to make a record, they're trying to make the best possible record they can make, right? Everybody wants to make something fantastic. And so you have this record in your mind all the time and the way you want it to sound. It's never as good as you imagine it, but each time you fail at trying to reach that point.
I have lower standards. always, I was like, that's way better than I expected. That's awesome. We are fantastic.
Well, you hear much about, and I don't know if this is true for you guys, but when you first came out, that a lot of musicians have this desire to sing, and they need to tell their stories, and there's this burning in them that needs to get out in some way. And as you get older, life's changed, priorities change, things change. Do you have that same kind of impetus to make the record and same to go out there and see people again?
This burning desire to sing, I think that's sort of the burning desire to be noticed, but the burning desire, like the need to write songs and play in a band, and I think that I certainly have that. I'm sure Greg has it too. I think that seems like that's the best thing I can do, and that if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be as good a person. So I think it's vital to me, yeah.
Has the band ever had an existential crisis?
Oh, God, sure.
Oh,
You're looking
pretty...
at him.
Well, I won't take the soul role, but, it's sort of, it's when you play in a band, you've got all these personalities, and so they bring in all their own lives and whatever's going on there, and then there's just the dynamic of being, geezers in a band, and so that brings in a whole other.
You're not exactly geezers yet, but you sure weren't geezers. Here, look at that photo.
That's the high fives.
Yeah.
It's funny because we've never really been young. Like, we look young, but even this is the high five. So we were in our 20s, but Blue Rodeo, the early pick.
Does geezer mean the same in Canada then? Canada, actually, that's something I'm learning more and more about Canada, is that because to me, Australia is the most similar to the UK, but Canada actually has a lot of stuff similar too. Like, Yeah, but Giza, that's interesting because that's a typically UK thing or sort of London thing, really Cockney thing. But does it have a different meaning?
We're 30. We look 12. It's ridiculous.
Pretty fantastic, right? How about another band here? This is they sound young. You guys still sound young, but watch this. I love this performance.
Oh, no.
Up there. That's Steve Adorno stuff.
Oh, it's your Paris band, right? Or France?
Oh, it's like a bad Saturday night skit.
Have we done any of their stuff like that?
That hair is incredible.
Well, that's enough of that, eh?
You guys were doing Rodeo at the time, right?
No, we actually Fly to France.
Fly to France.
And the drummer, his brother went to film school, so he made a couple of those videos, and we of course they just
Mustn't have been a very good school.
I know. Well, I don't think he's a filmmaker today. But somehow that guy put it up online.
How much has the dynamic between the two of you changed from those days?
Look, I think we were friends then. I mean, our dynamic's different because we're older, and we've been doing this a long time, and we've grown accustomed to being in a band. We were still new and waiters. We were more waiters than we were band members in those days. But I see that, and I think, no, we still, so much has happened to us, and we have this funny experience that we look at each other and think, really? Like us?
Well, actually, it's a little easier for you. When I look up there and I see this old man sitting here, I say, who is that guy? What?
You're like, you throw your hair down in your face again. I thought that was really nice.
This guy is. He looks nothing like the guy that I.
But what would you say to that guy if you could just have a moment?
I wouldn't have much to say to him. No.
Jim, what would you say to that guy if you had a moment?
It doesn't seem that funny to me. I mean, I think it's funny. I recognize that we were, you pretend a bit. You try on a few cloaks when you're starting in a band to figure out what works. And certainly for us, leaving New York was to get rid of all those cloaks and just play what was relatively natural to us. I mean, we did come back still as Toronto Cowboys, and that's a bit of a fake anyway. But
it's one of my favorite things about you is the fact that you're Toronto Cowboys.
I remember getting in his car and driving, because I did not want to leave New York. I love New York. And getting in his car.
They both well
he
changed.
was like total hayseed all of a sudden. And then the farm report comes on, and he turns it up. I think, oh my God, what is happening to us?
When did you know that Devin was going to be your son was going to become one?
Well, I mean, there was, when he was 12 years old, he wanted us to buy him Jelly Roll Morton albums.
It's so weird, eh?
I know. So, I mean, he always had carved out this very unique interest in music. And, but I don't think it was until his last years of high school that it dawned on me. He's done things so secretively. Like when I went to see him first, after he was out of university and he started playing, he had all the songs I'd never heard. I said, whose songs are those? He said, those are my songs. I said, how could I not have heard these? You live in our house. He said, well, I don't know.
Is it strange for a guy the idea of wanting to be noticed that now you're your wife's second favorite band in the house?
I was always second favorite. That's okay. Unless Sting dies, I'll never get to be number one.
Stick around, more with Blue Rodeo right after this. Coming up, yes, he's a gentleman. But who is Jim's musical nemesis? We'll see if we can pry that out of him next.
Oh, I thought it was going to end then.
Are you saying you're getting a 13 or 14-year-old girl screaming at you at concerts?
I think kids are a lot more sophisticated. Than when I was a kid, I was a lot more sophisticated than my parents. At least I thought. So good. And but
you guys are friends, right?
Barely.
Funny how success really squashes any friendship.
Separate interviews, please.
To be fair, they haven't changed that much.
CBC Midday, I believe Terry Sagan is the host on that one.
What was that show?
Midday. And the reason I in this conversation, I'm focusing so much on the relationship between the two is because one would think that over time the wear and tear would eventually wear something out. But when you hear this record and you see you perform, there's an energy in it that's different. There's a smirk in the band. The songs are fantastic. I mean it sincerely. And you guys seem like you have your, whatever that is that you need, you got it.
Well, you certainly burn off a lot of stuff. You know, there's something about your sort of mid-career years where you're, I don't know whether you're just tired of touring, you're tired of climbing the ladder,
sure.
or you're just sort of resentful of each other and other people in the band. There's just a lot more friction. It's harder to get over. And that stuff has been burned out of us. and we have enjoyed each other's company. And, you know, it's a strange life. You do too. You lead a strange life too. And it's nice to have somebody to share it with, and somebody that's close and shares the same sense of humor you do. So, you know,
They
because
do.
often we'll be like among normal people, and we're a bit too harsh for normal people. And I can see them looking at me, think, oh, God, I got to chill that. And then I got to get around Greg again so I can be myself.
All right, anthropology time. Do you have a nemesis band? You see them walking down the streets and you fake a
Can't-
smile.
I do, but can't say.
You really do?
Oh, yeah, can't say.
Well, it's not a band. It's one guy.
No, it'd be a band.
It's
For
a
me,
band?
A band.
Who's the guy?
Well, we can't say.
I think,
yeah,
no, but
I can't say.
no, but is it the hockey
can't
guy?
say.
Is it the hockey guy?
No, but
You can't say.
I know,
No. I don't have anything against. I was at a
Oh, I
party
do.
with
Yeah,
them on the
okay.
weekend.
I love Benini, but I was
No, but
just-
I have a buttons made. Anybody but this band.
Really?
Yeah.
Headley?
What? No, well, I would never
Is
reveal.
it personal or musical?
I would imagine it's both.
Well, who should we ask? No.
I want to know who this band is. If you could ask Prime Minister Harper one question that he could not escape answering truthfully, what would it be?
Well, why have you dismantled all our environmental policies?
It's a wonderful band that are Blue Rodeo. Now, they're going to play a Christmas special, which we're very excited about. A holiday.
So are we.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Do you like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
You like Christmas? You?
Oh, I do, yeah.
All right. Will you come back and play on Friday for us?
We'd love to.
We don't have a lot of bands playing here during the week on the show. We should have more, and no better way to kick it off the season with these wonderful people. So, Christmas Eve, our Christmas music special, and then Friday they'll be here. Their tour kicks off January 2nd in the great city of Vancouver. What a pleasure.
Thank you
Chairman.
very much, Craig. Nice to be on your show. Thank you.
Blue Rodeo, everybody. We'll be right back.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, no, I think they, yeah, they definitely have that same humor. Like it, I mean, they looked really different. Especially Greg, he looked very, very different in that video with the jean jacket on. Like he looked like kind of a punk mixed with an electronical guy, like a guy who's good with he'd fit your car stereo, or do you know what I mean, fix your telly. But they had the exact same, like one of them says something, the other one says something funny about what that one said, and then they both start laughing. Which really is, to be honest, like you say, there's certain people that, like, you can't let your full personality come out around. And then there's certain people that you know you can. That, like, yeah. But I do, you can definitely see. Yeah, you can see that they haven't really changed that much. There was something else they said as well that I was going to say. It was, I can't remember. Something about touring all the time. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, no, that was a good interview. He's a good interviewer, that mate. He really is. I think he just has a personality that, which I think is kind of half your job as an interviewer, isn't it? Half your job is to kind of, one, he always seems interested, like he does genuinely seem interested. But then I think he just has a personality that just makes people feel kind of comfortable. Like he has got like a friendly personality. But then it could be a case as well that they do know him. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.